in Bungie's next game. We're combining the rich history of Marathon with a PvP extraction shooter where players get to be part of the narrative. I think that's just going to be a magic formula.
In Marathon, you are a runner, and you're exploring the hostile world of Tau City 4, looking for mysterious artifacts, implants, and weapons for your runner that are just going to make your character stronger.
Oh, Scott, man.
You make the best things on the shoulders of giants. And in our case, those giants are Halo and Destiny. The team's been leveraging 30 years of experience and innovation and passion to create Marathon. So in Marathon, you're a runner. A runner is a cybernetic mercenary.
They're this combination of fashion and sci-fi and cyberpunk. They're just so cool.
You're going to be able to both visually represent yourself in really interesting ways, but then also there's going to be gameplay modifications, which is going to be awesome. And it means that you and the other two people on your crew can pick your different play styles. I think the runners are going to be a really great way for our players to shape their gameplay.
Tau City is a very vibrant and dangerous world.
We wanted to make sure this world pushed back on you in the right amount.
You're going to drop into persistent zones. You never know what you're going to find or who you're going to face. You're trying to get out alive, and so is everyone else.
Are you serious?
We're combining the best of that Bungie touch and feel gameplay, but we're adding that incredible tension and these emotional highs and lows.
We want that kind of just surprising, dangerous mystery. Imagine going into this basement of one of the colony buildings and it's like flooded with water, murkiness. It's too quiet. Just the sloshing of your footsteps. Around the corner, you see some beam of green light. And you're like, oh no, what is that?
Marathon is a game where you're always one run away from greatness. You might find like the sick loot in this corner. You might find the compiler in that corner. But every choice you make matters.
It's great to see some of those moments in the world that just kind of naturally happen as players collide.
What runners are doing is gonna be that exciting narrative that unfolds over the course of a season. Who knows what's gonna happen, but imagine if one crew happens to find an alien key. They place it on this altar, and then they get memorialized for opening up the next zone. And they have to go and figure out how to then unlock that for everybody else.
There's a lot of ways to feel like you can win this game. Obviously, getting out alive is the primary one. You can win by getting out with the most artifacts. Each piece of an artifact you find in the world combines into creating bigger, more valuable artifacts. I've had a run where I've got all the pieces to get a prime artifact. I could get out, I could win. And then I hear gunfire in a building nearby, and I know I just need one more piece to get that prime. And that's a decision that we want players to have to make.
You can choose to engage the other team, you can choose to just find the artifacts, and then you can choose to just get out.
I am down. I actually shared an exfil with someone. They started shooting me, and I'm like, okay, like, I downed them, and then I let them go. And that's the point, like, I could play any way I want.
She demonstrated her power, and then she let them go.
There's just so many different ways you can be famous or infamous. Did you help somebody who really needed help? Or you became world's first because you unlocked the zone? Or you are the best runner in the world because you've climbed the leaderboard all the way to the top rank and everybody knows it?
The art style of Marathon is graphic realism. Bold, colorful, stylized art.
It's vibrant, it's beautiful, but also mysterious. It's familiar, but also strange. We're really trying to find the right mix of beauty and mystery.
When I jump into the game, I'm just like running for my life, but at the same time, I'll be like, oh, this bush is so beautiful. Oh, look at that building, oh my.
Because we're targeting this like very bold style, it's a balancing act to figure out where do we dial it to 11, where do we dial it back to 6, and which objects and which elements of the world do we really want to highlight. It's something fresh and sort of uncharted territory.
With Marathon, Bungie is very clearly focusing on PvP, and so from the ground up, the integrity of the experience has been absolutely critical. And it was non-negotiable that Bungie was going to be investing in dedicated servers for Marathon, disconnect recovery, and fog of war. Like, without those elements, none of this matters.
So we actually have a dedicated team in charge of security and making sure the game is as fair as possible.
Marathon's going to be releasing on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and it's going to have full cross-save and cross-play.
We are marching towards our alpha, which is really exciting.
We wish we could show you all the cool stuff that we're working on right now, but we can't do it just yet.
After this announcement, we are going to go dark for a while, for an extended period, while we focus on developing and playtesting the game.
Oh, I got one. One's down. One second.
Next time you hear from us, we're going to be much closer to release, and we will be ready to reveal gameplay.
You're being thwarted all the time, and you've got to adapt. At the core, it's what it means to be human.
I was just gonna say you shoot people and take their stuff. That was way better than I was gonna do.
First up, yeah, we didn't see any gameplay there. For those wondering what Marathon is, it's actually an old game. Was it the first or second game Bungie ever made? It's going to be a different game than what it was. It's just going to have roughly similar lore, but it will be its own thing. And I think of the similarities people are comparing it to is like Tarkov. With that being said, it's a PvP game, guys. Based on the track record of Destiny's PvP over the past almost decade, PvP in Destiny has had a lot of pain points. You know, there's things like we've been asking for Destiny, such as dedicated servers, anti-cheat. Even here recently, we've been having a huge fluctuation of cheaters. And they did mention right here that there is going to be dedicated servers for this game, and that they're going all the way through with having the best quality possible. But, you know, again, anti-cheat, like that's going to have to be something they really nail down, considering this is a PvP only game. It's an extraction looter. So you essentially, you go in, you loot things, and then you get out. Right? Think of it like, did anyone play COD DMZ? Did anyone play COD DMZ? Or yeah, Tarkov. Right. Exact same thing, guys. You go in, you get loot, you try to get the best stuff possible, and you have to make decisions. Do I want to take the risk of getting, like right there, they're calling that a prime. That's a prime. Do I want to go the extra mile and get that fully fleshed out prime? Or do I want to go ahead and bounce with what I have? Let me just back up here and give you some of my knowledge of this team that is directing things. So Scott Taylor, you probably saw his face a bunch way back when Forsaken was hitting. You've got Scott Taylor, you've got Christopher Barrett, and you also have Steve. If I can actually find their faces right here, I can show you. So that right here, that's Christopher Barrett. And then let me see if I can find Steve for us. Here we go. Steve. All right. These guys were a really good team that pitched, that essentially did Rise of Iron and Forsaken. And the way I think releases used to work, I don't know how they work now, but the way releases used to work in Destiny was developing teams would take an expansion and hopscotch each other. So someone would take Vanilla, Destiny 1, then someone took Taken King, Rise of Iron, Destiny 2 Vanilla, Forsaken, Shadow. You see where I'm coming from? It wasn't until like, I think after the Activision split that there became more of a consolidation with like one unified team there at Destiny. And then this split with this team working on this. See Bungie's Twitter. All right, so Marathon is a newly announced sci-fi PvP. There we go. There we go. Directly from Bungie on this, because we've got a lot of people asking questions. Marathon is a newly announced sci-fi PvP extraction shooter by Bungie set in the same world as the original Marathon trilogy. Below is a short list of frequently asked questions. Okay, first, when can I play Marathon? Marathon is currently in development and no release date has been set for the game. Stay informed on the latest news by following our official Marathon social accounts at Marathon the Game and joining our mailing list here. You can actually go there, guys. Even for my creators, you can go there. You can put in all your links, do all your stuff. I have no idea. Does anybody remember when the, reveal of Destiny occurred? How many years did it take before we got an alpha? Because then that kind of gives us an idea of what we're looking at. 8 months? What? So E3 2013, alpha for Destiny was it May 2014? It was May 2014, right? It might have been February. All right, so we could definitely be in that time window, guys, of like a 2025 release. Or maybe even a 2024 release. I don't know. From what we listened to today on their blog, it didn't sound like it was fully fleshed out, though. They're still hiring people to even work on this game. More. Thank you so much for the Prime. All right. Now, what platforms will Marathon be available on? Marathon will be available to play on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Now, is this a remake or a sequel to the original Marathon trilogy? The game takes place in the same world as the original Marathon trilogy, but it is not a remake or a direct sequel. Do you think this is matter? Definitely. Definitely, guys. Read some of the replies. Don't call the Destiny help with Marathon stuff. Shaking my head. Who's Marathon? Sassy. Oof, I got nothing against Bungie doing other games, but I hope they have separate Destiny help and Marathon help accounts. I don't know. They're definitely gonna have two different social teams. Just like Destiny 2 teams. Destiny 2 team account and then Marathon team account. Second, what makes this game unique? PvP hard miss. Already hate this shit. That shit in Destiny 2. Is it free to play? Has that been confirmed? Is it free to play? Well, the issue with making a game free to play, yes, you will have more people playing it, but cheaters go up substantially. I'm just letting y'all know. That just opens the floodgates, guys. It's Hacker City. D2 PvP main here. Both excited and worried. Please use next year of D2 to show to your current customers that you're worthy of our trust regarding a new PvP hated title. Recent decisions don't reward players' skill, development, and investment. Don't demonstrate forethought, balance, etc. It's real cute coming from a guy named Telesto talking about balance. Question. Is this why Bungie has been largely incapable of making new Crucible and Gambit maps? And can Marathon expect the same scarcity of new maps to be added to the game after game releases? That's a fair question. One question. Why? Explains where all the PvP work has been and why it takes 90 days to nerf Love Monarch and let cheaters fly around maps during trials for 3 weeks. I'm just saying, man. It's a bold move of Bungie to give us a PvP only game after some of the shenanigans we have to experience on a week-to-week basis in trials. Look, here it is! Marathon getting dedicated servers before Destiny! I have to chat. It's not that I'm not excited about this game, but I have to like that one. Why aren't you giving the same level of attention to Destiny, your current moneymaker? I mean, dedicated servers and disconnect protection in Marathon, but not in Destiny 2? As you continuously scan Destiny players... Oh, I guess I meant scam. Scam Destiny players with overpriced cosmetics, which used to be for bright dust? I am so excited about this game. Truly. I am so excited to see... this team make this game, because this is a very solid team. I want to see them try to make the best PvP game possible and them succeed. And I can guarantee you, if it's like other vanilla launches, well, the community will show their outrage and show it quickly. And I'm just going to say right now, it is an uphill battle as of now. Things are really going to come down to the alpha. You let some PvP players get in there and play it, and if it really, really pops and people are enjoying it, At the same time, even for a Destiny PvP player, will Marathon scratch that itch? It's a completely different type of game. I think what I love about Destiny is getting a piece of loot in PvE or just somewhere randomly, and then it popping off inside of PvP, you know, and vice versa. I don't think Marathon is the Destiny killer. And normally I'm the first to say Destiny killer on a thumbnail or a title for the baits. So some of the points I want to go over real quick, guys, before I let y'all go. And they put a lot of emphasis on players evolving the world. And I don't know how exactly that's going to play out. Is there any extraction shooter where the players could actually like change aspects of the world? You can open bunker doors and stuff in Tarkov. Third, there's going to be leaderboards, guys. Fourth, dedicated servers. Fifth, they've made this point a few times. No old gen consoles. They've mentioned it there a few times. No old PS4, Xbox One, nothing. Also, last but not least, Marathon will be completely dark, or so they say, until they are actually getting ready for pre-release. I'm curious to know, like, obviously we don't know this information, but I'm curious to know, like, what percentage of the team is working on Marathon versus Destiny. You know what I mean? We talking like 20% of the team. Goro mentions they're probably using the Unreal Engine, like what the recent leaks have been about Matter. The real question, will you be able to get weaseled in Marathon? I'm sure some level of error codes will definitely still be in there. So considering the color palette here, guys, I'm almost certain Matter is just Marathon. You know, when we actually, and I mean, Bungie hasn't, I don't think Bungie's confirmed this, but you know, they couldn't share much with us. I mean, they've been keeping it tight-lipped, but considering the color palette, I mean, look at that. You know, look at that. I mean, I just feel like there's so much here that just kind of seems to go hand in hand with what Bungie had released to us. So I'm thinking Matter is just the code name for Marathon. And I actually think that Matter, it being named Matter, like, I almost feel like that's going to go hand in hand with how the game plays. Because where's the shot? There's a shot there where it shows the player after being killed. They're like melting in the water. Or after this player gets killed. Notice how it's just like, you see where I'm coming from? Like, just the aesthetic. This screams Matter to me. People have been saying for years Matter is going to be a hero shooter like Overwatch. I mean, it's just mentioned it right there. And now, I mean, maybe. Motherfucking Matter. Y'all want to talk shit some more? Huh, chat? You want to talk shit some more? That's Christopher Barrett's wife. Says Matter looks great. Unless she's trolling. She's poking fun at every Bungie project being considered to be Matter. Perhaps. I had a friend apply for both the position on the Matter team and the unnamed project. They're separate. Funny you mentioned that, because I too applied to both of those projects. And I was told in my interview that it is in fact the same motherfucking project. NDA, right? Oops. That's why they said they couldn't hire me. They said I can't keep an NDA together. I'm excited to see the saltiness, man. The saltiness has already been popcorn worthy. And as we get closer and closer, there really is no win-win. If the game pops off and becomes the best PvP game ever, I can guarantee you there are going to be a lot of salty D2 PvP players. And if the game doesn't pop off, and if it's terrible, which is the worst case scenario, yeah, they're going to catch a lot of heat for that too. So, but I'm excited, and I will say that team is a very solid team. I have a lot of faith in them. I've loved the expansions they've worked on. I think they're going to do a good job here. And understand, a long time ago when they were pitched, you know, the idea of making Destiny, you know, that was essentially one side of the studio saying, hey, we want to make a first-person shooter. And you had another side of the studio said, hey, we want to make an RPG. Hence why we got Destiny. They married the two together. And they're finally at that point now where I guess that team that wanted to make that PvP-centric first-person shooter are finally getting that opportunity.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.